We are still on the National Cathedral audit report. You do page 40 out of 76. Intino, me de 3 different stories are bring on the National Cathedral. Na nini na yen semwa Deloitte for erase. Now this time around, another ensemble will raise a rent payment for board secretary. International Cathedral for omupinyi na sa time okuja to abla kwa ba eba be kan sempe no wa call asasi radio akwa correspond no ono ne rent na yen hedi esi ye. Also during our audit, we noted that 117,000 Ghana cedis, $18,000 at 6.51 was paid to the board secretary for rental accommodation in January 2022. In the National Cathedral opinion, no, yetia over 100,000 Ghana cedis emano for rent in 2022. We could not obtain sufficient appropriate evidence to conclude that the board secretary was entitled to this as part of his remuneration, as part of his remuneration package or approval for his payment from the board of trustees or the office of the president. Now, I want people to understand it. Ejuma bia obeye wo Ghana krum ha bia no. Ye wo package, I no remuneration package. Enti no uye teacher ni e wo Ghana krum ha. Ye betua o ka fine. Nanso waban ontua o rent amount. Oye nurse ni a ye betua o ka. Nanso waban ontua o rent amount. Said ye make an what say oye civil servant ye betua o ka aban ontua o rent amount. National Cathedral papa yi ejuma na wo ye no. I don't know whether you qualify him as a civil servant or not, but ono na ejuma na wo ye no. Yan fan tum say e wo say yetua na rent ema no. Now so in 2022, ye tam Ghana sika over 100,000 Ghana cedis. Ene ye de koko tua na rent ema no. Enti no omo ye audit no ye say yen kwa hwe say enkrata wo ho etre say ejuma na wo ye no. Na or you entitled to that and you whom crata be a tre. Deloitte phone some moka. Or say implication. Payments without approval results in significant control deficiencies. Inti it was a payment without approval. We say see a can. Yes, you can't. Yes, you charging. I don't know whether I can qualify for causing financial loss to the state. I don't know, but it will be very interesting to see. Recommendation: management should provide evidence of approval for this payment from the board of trustees or office of the president. It's a Deloitte phone. Someone can say management emfa evidence embra. Say your president in a ma or coin say ko na ko rented dying. Na Ghana for ni ntia dan ne ma. Ana say board of trustees asofo na muhia na mo na mo yes decision na fa prove bra na nia yehu. Na won fa prove em ba ye de. Ade a wa na yebone odi Ghana sika na akwa kotua rent. Embra uni hu kwan. Management response. Enti penyi na wote ano ne response a wode ba ye ni. The decision to reimburse member secretary for his out of Kumasi expenses was made by the board on June 1st, 2020. It was a decision no asofo no ene make enti we de enye president no mo asofo no ene make decision no say yem parent man because oti Kumasi. Also that decision was to pay his accumulated expenses and those in the future, and the travel expenses had to do mainly with accommodation and staff expenses. As you know, minutes are a record of key decisions and action points. At meetings, minutes do not, nor are they meant to capture all the details and nuances of the discussions on an issue. As we discussed extensively during the 2020 audit, the period of the rental agreement coincided with periods when the member secretary spent considerable time in Accra on the project and therefore rented an apartment for $4,500 and agreed for the project to pay a portion of the rent, $3,000. We find it problematic that this issue we thought had been resolved is still in the report. Inti omo ankasa no Deloitte for me say ena make a Deloitte aseme kra no edin eye masa ade kra na me body ni ya Deloitte for no raise issue. And you see, people need to understand say answer na Deloitte for no ebe release sa audit we no. They had to akwa say investigative journalist and answer me ya no. Answer no be release ni investigative piece no. Obe bisao no wa pay response free ho. It answer na Deloitte for no ebe release report we no. Omo throw the command National Cathedral opinion ni say de wa ye ni response be na woma. And asema wono kan say ono otikumase ena National Cathedral meetings ni na won crying. Nti ase ne de bia wo bank crying be ye meeting bank crying be meeting na e wa no mo a mpanyifo ni decide say ene ye mpe dan bi e won crying emma no ntena ha. Nti ye meeting na aboa no. E dan na wo kokonya ye no. Na rent e ye 4,500. Nti omo decide say National Cathedral no ebe teki 3,000 no ankasa de nisika 8,500. Inti monthly rent 4,500 but to 2,500 na National Cathedral yen Ghana for no ye 3,000 amano. Eno ye omo asofo no eno mu decide say wo munye so mo fa Ghana sika enye sa. Ye ko si nyame asori dan ye ko si nyame asori dan no. Ekofani accommodation amobi ni ye tia Ghana for ye tia $3,000 a month amani bakura no nyame dan na yesi no. I say the amount for 117,180 paid as board secretary's accommodation is duly supported by a receipt. The issue raised by audit was that there was no agreement between the board and the board secretary. The board secretary offered to pay $1,500 of the bill. Based on the letter written by the board, it was reimbursement of money spent by the board secretary. The presentation of the full receipt of $4,500 per month does not nullify the receipt as not supported by documents, so it must be corrected and removed from expenses not supported by documents. Ati ase, inti ohe National Cathedral for now they didn't like the idea. Say Deloitte for no. They didn't like the idea say Deloitte for no kasa fa same way ho. Because the Henna report in about bontin idea ni ngwase be banti no mo ka Deloitte for no say munyin free sector we ase ye ne mo akasa fa idea we ho na so still mo peja. Inti Deloitte for no comment a wo mo so na response a wo mo de ma National Cathedral mpanyifo ni. O say a review of the minutes of the Board of Trustees meeting on June 1st, 2020, as captured below, indicates that approval was given for Rev Kusi Boateng to be reimbursed for expenses he has incurred prior to the formal launch of the project. And to date, that is date of the board meeting. And it does not state that include those of the future travel expenses. Intino Deloitte for no so response our mark because National Cathedral for na say oh and some our say ye need documents they need nyama no ni na wo meeting bia ye minute of meeting bia ye June 1st 2020 ewom na National Cathedral for say meeting samo ye minute ewom no de mo kan ho asem Kusi Boateng a mo tre say waboka bi ati ase intino na mo approve say yen reimburse sa aka na wabo no but mo anka ewo minute nim document da ye nim no mo anka wom say future travel be ni other expenses we mu ni na mo anka enti omonso Deloitte for ana Deloitte me ka Deloitte amo fancha me say now is a now into Deloitte ni na monte ase Mr. Mo into Deloitte for no ati ase almost response a wo e de buy Emma omo be publish the minutes of the meeting our mo tre say evidence amo amodi amayen say ye auditors into evidence amodi be mayen ye de be kasa the evidence amodi amayen no de mo atrotro ewom no eno na ye de kasa into no mama money look it said ye said ye na ye pese ye stubborn bi okuja to abla kwa na ye anke be kasa ye politics but won auditing for na ngasa no he the omni auditing for no auditors no Also, the narration indicates that the payment was for 6 months accommodation, but per the rental agreement given to us, as the amount payable per month is $4,500, meaning in your response above, you indicated that and therefore rented an apartment for $4,500 and agreed for the project to pay a portion of the rent, $3,000. No supporting document has been presented to us to verify this agreement for the secretariat to only pay $3,000 out of $4,500 monthly rent costs. Below are the details of the documents submitted by management. Into details of documents are omo edekoma Deloitte for no any Deloitte for no omo twe say evidence amodi aman na yen ye hweso ayede kasa. The more case is here say o mo decide ye say ono anka senti $1,500 na mo na mo betua $3,000 sa ansem am okan ni na no any document amodi amayen no eso ti document amodi amayen no eno ne yen ye de hwemu kasa. It was say 4 January 2021 or the period no 1st January 2021 to 31st May 2021 rental of 3B Glover's house client name Reverend Kusi Boateng. Not say Reverend Kusi Boateng krano. Dan ye rented dan ma Reverend Kusi Boateng. Into Reverend Kusi Boateng ye rented dan emma no. Rental agreement and payment receipt ye tia $22,500. It's a National Cathedral. It's not only the okay. So sorry, Reverend Kusi Boateng is rather the secretary. Okay. Oh. I am say mo fanche me we dey me na my mistake. Melodies me din senfun. Not knowing all this while. Secretary aye kan wan asem na say Reverend Kusi Boateng o. Me fi say papa na or responding to kuja to abla kwa no. Me din senfun mo fanche me. Oh, yeah, Reverend Kusi Boateng. Yeah. Move on, yeah. Oh. Yeah. Move on, yeah. Yeah, man can ye cry. Etiefo. Say someone ye can na Kusi Boateng ho sem ne ye kan. Nobody make crazy. Oh. Hey, I was confused. So the board, yes, Kusi Boateng is the board secretary. Let's go to the National Cathedral website. Kusi Boateng is the secretary. Oh, now you me say papa no. Now that papa no, into papa no. Now the position here there. Meba. So Kusi Boateng is the board secretary. Yes, I feel some kai. Ooh, man can hear. Inti ya papa Kusi Boateng na ye kan ho asem say ya rented dan yama no. Hey. So this is the leadership. So Kusi Boateng member, right? Okay, so they are confusing me. Inti they are confusing me ni. Papa no executive director, but he is more like the secretariat. And you know confused how bro for no secretariat. Into the secretariat no executive director no and then your friend the Dr. Opoku Mensah, right? Into secretariat no. Oh no, I say yes secretariat, National Cathedral Secretariat. To me, who's secretary? No, I am so no one sem ne can say we are talking about the board secretary. Now board secretary need the Reverend Kusi Boateng. Since someone me can ni na make say Eye papa no mesrenye papa no asem ne ye kakra Rev Kusi Boateng. Eye Rev Kusi Boateng ho asem ne ye ka. Inti sika ya yesi ye de akwakotua rent ni na no. Eye Rev Kusi Boateng. Eye Rev Kusi Boateng. Hey! 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 Rev Kusi Boateng. Ah! Rev Kusi Boateng sika ni vele one night bebre no. Wow! Inti ye Rev Kusi Boateng and ye rent man na ne rent no ye ti sika ni free National Cathedral Ghana for sikem e free ni e free no be ya rent ya man no on ka se ba me abewi ni say what be that na her rent na ye ti man no that same year January to May amount e $22,000 asramete. From June to December 2021 amount $31,500 asramete. From January 2022 to June and also amount here 27,000. From July not just say no 6 months from July to December and also amount here 27,000. Reverend Kusi total no Reverend Kusi Boateng me ba ma men calculate. Inti National Cathedral no Reverend Kusi Boateng National Cathedral Ghana na mo kosi nyame aso dayama nyame na se mo koye de menti ase sika ye se ye di kosi aso dayama nyame na ye ti $31 million e de renti ama osofo ba ko wo mu ni na se make so it was $108,000. Wow. It's a Rev Kusi Boateng kwano. Just within 2021 to 2022. National Cathedral no yet $100,000 at the rent man. Hey! Charlie! What the hell? What the hell? Wow. I say outstanding supporting documents and other payments. During our audit, the team was tasked to test the entity's operating expenses and cash and bank for the year FY 2023 by agreeing the details per supporting documents to the details and amounts per the general ledger. Below are the issues that were noted. Inti no we year 2023 there. Inti there na ye we dey actual ni na no. Na omo check from a year 2022. Right? We ni na no more check from 2022. A year bank account there etre the omo di sika na year inti 2022 no. Eno no mo yi sika di tia bloggers na nyama bebre no. Esanso yi sika di tia Reverend Kusi Boateng. Inti afi wa ba 2023. Se 2023 no National Cathedral no omo bank account no any sika wo mo spend ye no edie no mo di sika na ye. What you say? Or say outstanding supporting documentation. We requested for the supporting documents for the following selected transactions, but they were not provided. And you know, expenses be a woman who ye omo call bank accounts mu no. Omo hu say ye yisika in 2023 e de aye nyama bi. Nyama na mo yisika e de aye no. Auditors no any omo kasa say mumfa mra metu ye ni mumfa evidence mretu ye ni mentrese sika no de amudi ye ni receipt ni but omo ntumi amfa receipt amba. Any extra day cost of rental truck loader and driver. Intino omo si omo tia driver bi esika ati say extra day cost of rental truck loader. Inti minim say rental truck minim so ye ahia car na say de no mo kokotwen ya de a but omo tia driver bi sika and on 1,005 amount 1,005 outstanding amount 1,005. Management response paid to a driver who brought the crates and had to wait for an extra day because we could not offload the items. No receipt was issued. Okay, Inti no driver bi de enyama ebae but ode nyama ne bae no omontumi antwe nyama ne mfri car nim. Inti no driver ne car for one day. So one day na driver ne car no I was say National Cathedral for omutia. Inti no ye biso omo si o say we driver na we receipt bi any or driver no am pay receipt bi am inti receipt in ho. And I say no supporting documents provided for this. And listen, to be fair, you see, and that what I am saying is everything shows. Say the National Cathedral Adiewe Enyama Wamoye, the National Cathedral no. Everything sort of shows say they didn't treat it as a professional project. And clearly it should. Because say a professional project, e ensure na obeto kra obeji receipt. Na me asori na me wo. Asori na me first me wo. Ye kotofu o kra na yeji receipt. Because that time no na asori ne mpanyimfo, asori ne board members no e mpanyimfo a omo abobra school edu echi o. Utumi nkwo country ne say makwa akoto bibi. Inti no yamfa mma if you don't have receipt you no get it. And then me sorry o. And every single person knows say Ghana has say no sa na sorry bia operate. Me say Ghana ni bia wokwa sorry wo krom ha no on country say wakwa akoto nsuo wanji receipt. On fa nkwa sorry nenim say asori no ebepe sika manana. Yamfa mma. And I'm speaking this way because I have been a church worker. Obi a we church worker bi anim. Sometimes I sorry ye kita microphone ni to ndwom na battery ni krewu ni ye de yenye sika ekokoto a ye gi receipt timpanyifo ba ni ye de atrom say oh sorry no battery no ewu ye ewo mic nim o si receipt we ye de mano ni agi ye sika obi enim obi a wakọ Ghana sorry bi enim asori panyifo na wo multinational cathedral board ne so no they know say that is how we run churches in this country. So how is it that yedi omo akwa National Cathedral board so and then they forget about their training? Now omo no there omo ye nyama basa without any receipts. How? It simply does not make sense to me. Mr. Asemu ya making e just won kwa sorry wo Ghana obi enim Ghana sorry. Untumi mfa wusika nkoto ade nko wo sofo ho se matowe onye gi receipt fako. Inti almost say driver no 1,005. Or say cost of covering crates containing 5 pieces of statues. And also 1,005. Plastic covers bought from the open market. No receipt issued. Okay. No supporting document provided for this. Or say communication and media. Expenses for engagement with the political parties outside parliament. Hey, almost spending 70,000 for communication and media. Almost 70,000 no. Hey, engagement with political parties. Any political parties outside parliament. International Cathedral for say almost spending 70,000 Ghana cedis. 70,000 Ghana cedis. Mo de ye den ya. Almost yo. Almost ni political parties ni koye nshemu. Na nshemu no mne political parties ni koye no. E ka ba no 70,000. Omo have evidence bi amba. International Cathedral for ye de to omo nim say mo bank account ne trese mo yi 70,000 say mo de koye political party nyama bi. Afahin. Or say these were given to the organizers from the various interest groups and the media to explain the vision of the National Cathedral There are usually no receipts given at such gatherings. Into what I say, a sika womo edema media for say omontre National Cathedral and same muntre Ghana for. Into kuja to black wire expose no. No be aba betina radio so National Cathedral ne dey ade pa say say microphone no magiska 70,000 e come ho. Response. These were given to the organizers from the various interest groups and the media to explain the vision of the National Cathedral, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, Deloitte for someone can say no supporting documents provided for this. Secretarial impressed loan, 50,200. I said this was the repayment of money borrowed. So omutia 50,000. Ati asiye. Omutia 50,000. Emma Rev Kusi Boateng 50,000 Ghana cedis. Emma Rev Kusi Boateng. No receipts to show. Adenya womusi womo bobusian free ne ho. Ye bobusian free Kusi Boateng ho ntia na etua asasi kan man no. Ena the Lord for neka say omo and show evidence be address omo bobusian free. You see, it tells you say sa cathedral sense we are a course no ana embra na a course no. They didn't know say nanka send be baba be yesi. And that's exactly what it means. It tells you say they never in their lives thought say cathedral in Sensem no it will become this huge. Say accountability. Na yom say oh yes ye nyame fie nti no Ghana for mo nimba so say yenko ye accountable yenko accounting nti yenya nyama haphazardly. Basically that's my understanding. As a payment for expenses incurred for a 4-day trip with regards to Reverend Dr. Steve Asante funeral 13,000 nti omo 4-day trip. Na sa 4-day trip na omo koye no osofo baako ewuye. Na osofo no na ewuo na omo koye no omo kokotua 13,000. But anyway inti meba inti na National Cathedral ni hono na osofo no omo nko na yiye no. But why is that supposed to be the why is that supposed to be the cost? Ghana for bebe just because mo ya National Cathedral penny for and into mo cost of year. Ghana for esika 13,000 amu yusu. I mean, what's going on? What is going on? Reverend Steve Asante newu omokoye omoko spend 13,000. Mentiasie. As some were issues that receipts could be secured. However, items like per diem did not have receipt. Not just so much per diem nina. Hey, okay. You could see nyame sorry. I see. No supporting document provided for this. Hey. As a funeral of Reverend Steve Asante. Reverend Steve Asante no transportation fare with total amount 12,000. Transportation fare incurred with regards to Reverend Dr. Steve Asante. The amount withdrawn was 12,000, but amounts per invoice was only 6,000 cedis. No supporting documents were available for the below 13,000 paid to the executive director as part of a trip to Kumasi for the above funeral. For the above funeral, below are the details of the amount. Intino, omo tre say omo ko papa ne ye no, Reverend Steve Asante ne ye no, omo withdraw 12,000 say omo the 12,000 no, kwa ye transportation. Na papa ne ye na no, National Cathedral doctor no wote ano no. Yes, the ono ko asasi radio ekoko defend no. Ono say yema no 13,000 Ghana cedis. But no documents, receipts be anywhere supported as you can ye demand no. Na trip now or they call ya wakoko ye no. Or see below are the details of the amounts. Accommodation for driver, into say Ochiane driver 1,004. Per diem for driver or my driver ne per diem 600 cedis. Accommodation for Onwankasa 4,000 cedis. Per diem 2,000. Fuel 3,429. 3,000 cedis donation for the funeral. 1,000 cedis. Donation for the funeral 1,000. Sorry. Fuel no okay, donation for the funeral no 1,000, but fuel no 3,000 cedis, yes, and 3,422 29. That be no car number. Inti fuel no car number no, and no. Inti fuel no much 3,000 cedis, and a donation for the funeral no 1,000, and 1,000 or the miscellaneous. Not to say a honey miscellaneous ne the jiwema way. Inti otremwa 6,000 cedis. And meba outstanding amount here 4,000, right? Into 12,000 na man no 6,000 4,000 and yebisa no or see receipts were brought to the office. Find attached funeral donation per GCB receipt for 2,000 cedis. Inti sika na okọ spending in na no eye ni donation no na otumi show receipt of 2,000. But no kra no or recorded 1,000 cedis wa ha, but receipt na or tray receipt of 2,000 cedis. Well, inti no Deloitte for nsemo mo kan say no supporting documents provided for this. Okay. As a Bible reading tournament payment schedule. So mo Bible reading tournament kra wo krom ha Efa National Cathedral ne ho. As a cost of setting up the place for the Bible reading tournament 1,000 cedis. No receipts. As no supporting documents provided for this. Inti no muti 1,000 cedis no mo dey organize a Bible reading competition. Inti no no so muti free Ghana for yesikem. Short code statement. Short code balance 26,000. I say we recorded what was received because the short code was not working continuously. The National Cathedral receives money on the mobile phone. I say no supporting document. Another short code balance 74,000 and also Edaho. Now I say differences in bank balance. Based on our review for all bank balances, we noted differences between bank balances per general ledger and the balances per the bank confirmation and statement. Bank account, Agric Development Bank, bank balance 28,324,644 and 44 pesos. Balance per bank statement 28,381,244. Balance per bank confirmation 28,376,244. Additionally, there was an ADB Ghana amount with balance of 6,600, which was not included in the bank balances in the general ledger. Implication: we could not obtain appropriate supporting documentation, including invoices, approved payment vouchers, and receipts to enable us to conclude on the occurrence, accuracy, and validity of the operating expenses. Intino, Deloitte for no, and some more can say National Cathedral for no sika wa musi omo spending no mo Deloitte for no omo to me and support it because one for evidence amba. O say we use 12,000 what dey say, we use 10,000 what dey say, we use 1,000 what dey say. Evidence ni ho. Ti sika no say who use the yo one for yo. Me ye auditing no. Me dey mean to me engineer we chinga say who use the ye. As a result of this, we were unable to determine whether any adjustments might have been found necessary in respect of the recorded expenses. Recommendation: management will need to provide us with the outstanding requested documents. They should also keep proper supporting documents because good record keeping can be proof that they have made considered decisions and taken appropriate actions. Records become the entity's protection if transactions are questioned or challenged. Without them, the entity will be at risk. Good record keeping can also support the organization in legal or other challenges. And you see, Deloitte for the crown, they were helping National Cathedral for say, send your moon keeping records no enye because ene say court case be ba mo ho betri mu, but you be a we keeping recorder. And let me tell you a personal story. And me wa down for bi na madam for no ebie na ejuma obie na ejuma no e na wo frɛ ono na down for say na down for no embeka ejuma ne ho no munye ejuma no but along the way no na down for no enye ejuma ne senia e wo se wo ye no ema omuntem tete ye no ende ono na down for ne de na akwa akogina court se ejuma ne kra no eyo no ne me madam fo ne na eteye ena madam fo no sisia no ode eni breji efri ne nsem inti court enche ejuma no elsika ni mu half no mo fa half emma wo no mo fa half ne so ma madam fo no but ejuma no me na me wo ho na madam fo ne teye madam fo ne na eteye ena kokko fresh eni pakron ne bae ba ni pakron de akwa akogina court na enda wonim de age madam fo no de age madam fo ne se madam fo no yo obi a na minim no school since time ani wo school no ono keep record sa madam fo no se me kone ho ende na me ka tre ne say On share text message me sending no in 2017 and in 2016. On share text message me sending no in 2017 2018. Obekon the records nim. Now I treat text message me sending in another mami. Sa no what it. Sa madam for no sa subai no e so. In sometimes or no there ye wo hwa picture bi a ye twa ye in 2017. Ubon so the picture na ba betudwa na na ye sre ye ho. Eto de bia ye tumi cat and say massa wo de ye gi wo phone dia ye be say wo phone because ye tete nsem a ye kan ne wo de still e wo phone so. Eno enende madam for no asem na kwakọ gina court no age no. Eno nende madam for no asem na age no because our records edaho embra o katre say nipa kro we say oh bra na me wadwuma bra na beboa me ne yenye ne ye na sika ne ba say inti sa records ni na madam for no e de man lawyer e na ne lawyer de ko gina court say oh asumesi a wo claim say wono ne madam for no na ebi adwuma no hwe records ni katre say madam for no mum na ye adwuma ne de da e na madam for no mum katre ne say adwuma me ye ni inti bra na bra be ye bi ni se nti o backward be ka se adwuma no ono ne madam fo ne na tie nti yenji half ma na oboa madam fo ne di nkan tie adwuma na nso de ne ba ene ne nda je madam fo no nti madam fo no nyi obi anko kita record o keep record a kana so be ye hye nti o he Deloitte fo ne nsem mo ka National Cathedral fo na mun keep records nti nsem mo ka no yentumi nka se ye no kware ana se nye no kware but o keep records a obi ba no se obesiu mu a odemo kokota o to me because you have your records. Management for response or mama any. The different figures between our bank statement and the confirmation by the bank were all issued by the bank. May be a mistake from the bank. However, we will follow up on our general ledger figures. Please see updated list. And at Deloitte forecast, Deloitte received some supporting documents and after review updated the above list to exclude the ones we are okay with. As at the audit report date, we have still not received sufficient and appropriate audit evidence for the above updated outstandings. Whew. This is serious. Into page 45, or say the construction project has stopped. Into observation, or say material uncertainty relating to ongoing concern. Or say the construction project has stopped since May 2022 due to lack of funds, with the entity being unable to pay amounts owed to contractors and subcontractors. As at 31st December 2023, a total of 343,417,087 cedis was owed to contractors and subcontractors for various work done, with more payments pending which have not been certified. The last payment from government to the Secretariat was seed money of 25 million Ghana cedis, which came in 31st March 2022. The company has over the years incurred so much expenditure on various fundraising activities, all with the view of bringing in additional funds, but these have not had the needed effect. Implication: the continuity of the project is at stake due to dwindling of funds. Intino, omo trese National Cathedral and they see ho still boy and cow. So far, a car of over $300 million, 300 million Ghana cedis. Sa kano ewo ho aye ntuaye enti no eno no eda ho. So I think that we are going to continue with more in some of the issues no be brave ho. Ati I say we are going to continue with more of the issues. Montre mo your comment box ni mo me da say.